wigs. What you got? Thank you, ladies.
Live, yep. I got to come live today.
I'm broke. Y'all, we don't have enough money to pay the bill. What you got? You? You? Check it out.
Face value is a brand new game show that can land you a big pile of cash.
Have you ever been with the prostitute?
Yes, watch Face Value, hosted by Dion Cole. New episodes Wednesday at 10. Only on BET.
Marshall is sensational entertaining. 4 stars, outstanding. One of the best movies of the year.
If you want freedom, you're gonna have to fight for it.
October 13th, discover the one movie event that will inspire and have you cheering.
You want to get through a village to break it down.
Marshall, rated PG-13.
Every one of us starts out as a wide-eyed recruit, myself included. If I can go back, get ready. You're gonna serve alongside some amazing people and become my family. Together, you'll see and do things that don't change you. They'll change you. One day, you'll look up and be a better leader. This is all something I'm John Dave Goldfield. Come join us. Your nation is waiting.
Okay, folks, let's get the lady of the house back on her feet and help her feel more strength and energy in just 2 weeks.
The complete balanced nutrition of Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. Ensure, always be you.
Ooh, what do we have here? Tender morsels of deliciousness. And all that juicy goodness. Wait. Is that a new sauce? Introducing the Gallows New Buttermilk Crispy Tenders. Juicy and ready to perfection. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
There's a new mascara creating a buzz. L'Oreal's Lash Paradise, a soft wavy bristle brush for a feathery soft lash experience. Voluptuous volume, intense length. Take your lashes to paradise. New Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable. Just like some people like laying their head on a seat. Drinking spoiled milk. Camping in poison ivy. Getting a paper cut. And having their arm trapped in a vending machine. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
My trainer didn't believe me that Trop 50 could taste so good and still have 50% fewer calories.
Can I stop, Jane?
No, Trop 50 tastes so anti-wrinkle cream in no hurry to make anything happen. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Care works in just 1 week with the fastest retinol formula to physically reduce wrinkles. Neutrogena.
Fall's here. Can you feel it? At JCPenney, Levi's at the lowest prices of the season for him and her. Super cute booties at $35.99 and up to 50% off during the home sale. Hurry, Thursday through Monday at JCPenney.
Here's to believing the end of the road is where the real fun begins, and that adventure is never out of reach. When you believe, you can go anywhere. Hurry in, because the Jeep Celebration event only happens once a year. Right now, get $3,000 total cash allowance on the 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Watch me when you call my name. See me sparkle, see me flame. Oh, I'm so
your host for the 2017 BET Hip Hop Awards, Tuesday at 8. Be ready.
There has been a rash of these robberies in the Los Angeles area, as far east as Pasadena, as far north as the San Fernando Valley. They seem to know the inner workings of each bank. Wigs and sunglasses aid them in their disguise. Their MO is in and out.
It's not going to be stick them up and give me your dough. Your lives are going to be in jeopardy, and that's a fact. These girls are the real deal. And they're getting real good at chasing out the banks that they knock off.
Yes, keep listening, please.
They seem to know the intricacies of the bank's security systems, and more importantly, they know how to get around them. They may even have a contact on the inside, so please be aware.
Obviously, they don't appear this way when they're on the street.
Keep listening to me. I need you to meet me at the soul food restaurant that you took me to in 5 minutes.
I'm leaving right now. You be there. Take the stroll. Good question. Are we done here? Actually, we're just wrapping up. We'll leave a copy of that tape for further review. Thank you for your time. I'll show you after that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, now. I might be live shipping for like 15 minutes.
All units silent alarm downtown Federal Building 7 this spring. Receiving extreme caution. Suspects armed and dangerous.
Stony! Don't do this!
Put your gun down! Let it go!
Don't do this! Leo! No! 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 Stony! I know the deal. I do. And I'm sorry about your brother. I'm sorry about Stevie. I'm sorry he's dead. I swear to God. But don't do this. Stevie was enough. He was enough. No more killing. But don't let me down. Stevie was enough. Stony, put it down. Come on. There you go. Cleo. Come on. Come on.
Nigga, shut up. Thank you, man.
Fast to get us to the hospital, okay?
I don't hurry.
That's gonna make it. We gotta switch cars.
I ain't going. Thanks, man, for subbing.
You understand me? Alright? We've been through a lot together, haven't we? Okay, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear you okay. Okay. Come on, Frankie, man. Drive this car.
Okay.
Come on, you guys. You don't worry about Keith, okay? You worry about that tattoo and you're gonna get over that hole. You know what I can use right now? I can use banana flag day. Remember those banana flag days we had that time at that restaurant? They were so good. Remember? Robbie, we gotta start! Come on! Let's get up! Come on! Come on!
But I'm gonna serve it too, though.
Enough. Won't last forever.
Yes.
Yeah, they go like
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for better car replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I struggle with bipolar depression. And it's tough. It makes me feel sad and empty. It makes it hard to be there for people I love. So I talked to my doctor, and she prescribed Latuda. There are many forms of depression. Latuda is FDA approved to treat bipolar depression, which is different from other types of depression. In clinical studies, once-a-day Latuda was proven effective for people with bipolar depression. Latuda is not for everyone. Call your doctor about unusual mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children, teens, and young adults. Elderly dementia patients on Latuda have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, as these may be signs of a life-threatening reaction, or if you have uncontrollable muscle movements, as this may occur. High blood sugar has been seen with Latuda and medicines like it, and in extreme cases can lead to coma or death. Other risks include decreased white blood cells, which can be fatal, dizziness on standing, seizures, increased cholesterol, weight, or prolactin, trouble swallowing, and impaired judgment. Avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice. Use caution before driving or operating machinery. Being there for the people I love, and I get to be a part of life's little moments. That means so much to me. Ask your doctor if once daily Latuda is right for you. Pay as little as a $15 copay. Visit Latuda.com.
It's the Sears Cashback Bonanza. Get up to $50 back in points on all purchases. Plus, save up to 35% off on major home appliances. Get 40% off this Kenmore Top Load Laundry Pair and free delivery on all appliances. Hurry, the Cashback Bonanza ends soon.
All day long! All night long! Everybody like all day long! All night long! All night long! Show you boys the whip, huh? All right?
Skeptical about anti-aging creams? These women trust Revitalift Triple Power from L'Oreal.
Have more confidence. My coworkers are like, your skin looks great.
Revitalift Triple Power. Try it and see results, or your money back. From L'Oreal Paris.
Stay with me.
Harold hated everything. But I recently bought Jimmy Dean stuffed hash browns. They're stuffed with delicious meat and cheeses. All of that crispy goodness has him seeing the day in a whole new light.
Jimmy Dean stuffed hash browns. Shine on.
At Stouffer's, it's what's on the inside that counts. That's why our lasagna is made with high-quality ingredients you would use at home. Like freshly made pasta, real mozzarella, and no preservatives. Just a delicious meal the way you'd make it. Stouffer's.
You have a side that is retired, playing tag sagging, getting tired. You have a side that saves for their tuition. But right now, it looks like bedtime is the mission. The side that owns your own soul. Looks like you need to explain some more. That's why there's nationwide help protecting your many sides. Nationwide is on your side.
Need a fast-absorbing moisturizer? Try Nivea In-Shower Body Lotion. Wash, apply, it absorbs fast for 24-hour moisture. Quickly rinse for smoother skin. Ready to go. Nivea In-Shower Body Lotion. Also available with cocoa butter.
Suspects. Police reports indicate the women are from Los Angeles. They've been identified as Lena Newsom, Francesca Sutton, Deshaun Williams, and Cleopatra Sims. You can see these alleged bank robbers avoided LAPD blockade on the First Bridge. However, the police are still on the suspect's tail. We'll try to follow the action of this weekend from our Here we go again. The suspect barely getting away this time. I don't see any police vehicles in pursuit at the moment, but the LAPD helicopter next to ours has clearly got a beat on them. I've been checking the LAPD liaison, by the way. He's reporting that this night is We have visual contact with suspects vehicle on 2nd Street.
In the 60 seconds, I want you to run that way. We don't. No, Cody, shut up. We gotta split up, okay? When I catch up to y'all later, I promise. We don't talk about the money. Just hold on to it. Come on, let's go.
Hey. Hey.
We got done this house.
I can put it on my couch tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
You heard?
All right, yeah, I heard you. You stop playing with me.
I said
I heard you.
Let me call Christy. Move, can't fit to scratch you. You better move. She fit to scratch you. Oh!
Always prepared and be proactive and not reactive. And the great state of Florida, as we know, you guys done a great job covering what's going on with Irma the last 3 weeks. So here in Northwest Florida, we've been very fortunate, and we're going to, as I said, prepare for the worst and expect the best, and hopefully the storm as quickly as you've been reporting.
Mr. Mayor, you have a unique situation there in Pensacola because you have two bodies of water that you have to worry about, the Gulf of Mexico and Pensacola Bay, and so I feel like you kind of have to work double duty there in Pensacola.
Most definitely, and as I said, the city of Pensacola is right on the water on Pensacola Bay, so we obviously know our tides are going to rise. and people that are in those low-lying areas, they have to be very careful. And we know we're anticipating late evening tomorrow, 8 o'clock, when starting to pick up. So we want to get people off the streets and make sure that they're at home with their families, taking care of their friends and neighbors, but obviously prepare, as I said, for the worst and expect the best. But we've gone through this drill many times here in Florida and obviously Northwest Florida. And we're going to be prepared as the city, working with our county and our city, and obviously Governor Rick Scott's done a terrific job. He's been over here twice in less than 24 hours, so we're prepared as a team.
Hey, Mayor, here with, this is Dr. Rick Knapp. I'm wondering if you are sensing any challenges with convincing people to take action like evacuating if they don't live right on the beach and they live up the bay in Pensacola, and knowing that the center of circulation might pass well to your west. Do you struggle to get people to act when they don't sense a direct hit from the eye?
I think if someone in my position, when you're an elected official, obviously today is 85 and sunny, and you're in the great state of Florida, and we know how the weather's enticing. However, people have seen what our South Floridian friends have gone through, obviously our friends in Puerto Rico, and obviously in Houston, Texas. So I think with the coverage that obviously the Weather Channel's done and all of our local media outlets, people are being proactive. They understand to take this very, very seriously. So our citizens are prepared and they're educated.
All right, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for being with us this evening. That is Mayor Hayward from Pensacola right now. Big concern there in the Gulf Coast. Yeah, absolutely.
Every Sundown Naturals vitamin is now non-GMO. We did it for everyone. Like Andy, who's crazy active.
I go hiking, horseback riding, camping. I stand up paddleboard.
We love stand-up paddleboard. We went non-GMO for you and for everyone. Sundown Naturals.
These birds, once affected by oil, are heading back home thanks to Dawn. Rescue workers only trust Dawn because it's tough on grease yet gentle.
I am home. I am home. I am home.
It's been building up over decades. Storm after storm. And through 35 years of severe weather, it's strengthened into trust. Trust in the Weather Channel. To us, nothing matters more. We take you beyond the maps and apps, diving into the science and stories behind the storm. Every season, every storm, every time you watch, trust the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under clear skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Saturday, intervals of cloud. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies during the evening will give way to cloudy skies overnight. Low 68. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Oats seem pretty simple, right? They're actually kind of extraordinary. See, oats contain a soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Beta what? Stay with me here. This is where it gets interesting. This fiber really doesn't like cholesterol, so it traps some of the bad cholesterol and shows it a thing or two. Making Quaker oats a delicious part of a heart-healthy diet. High five, fiber.
This piece is so huge. I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
State Farm knows that for everyone who does not own, there's one of these.
This piece is so huge. I saw it and I was like,
From Edges Insurance to rewards credit cards, State Farm is here to help life go right.
What are you doing? Watching this Breath Savers Protect Mint neutralize the plaque acids in my mouth. I can't see anything. It's working so hard.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Karen, we're neutralizing.
No, yeah, I don't want to neutralize. You ever think of that? When food is good and clean and real, it's okay to crave. And with Panera Catering, there's more to go around. Panera, food as it should be.
Stanley Steamer is certified asthma and allergy friendly because we remove so many allergens, leaving your home cleaner and healthier.
That's why I call.
Call or go online for our $99 special.
Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefit.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com. People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-300-1899 or go to mesobook.com.
Since early August, we have made real progress. Today, 109 of 120 pumps are working. This includes both large drainage pumps and the constant duty pumps, and we are presently at 92% capacity. We have installed large generators, secured contractors to provide additional manpower so that in the event of an incident, all stations will be properly manned. While we're in a stronger place than we were in August regarding pumps and power, if this weather system strengthens and starts to produce large amounts of rainfall in short periods of time with bursts, we could see some localized flooding.
So preparing, Mike, in New Orleans, I guess they would call this a test from...
Yeah, they had some issues over the summer with some of the heavy thunderstorms that came through and flooded town, but 92%, he said.
Right.
Hopefully that's enough. Yeah, if we keep it at a fast-forward speed, we might reduce the amount of flooding that we see more.
Oh, yeah, and now we'll see just what that fast-forward speed is going to be in the latest. Dr. Rick Knapp here with us. Rick, so what's the latest on what we think we're going to be seeing here with Nate? Well, we're on a strengthening trend. The big question is, will that trend turn into rapid intensification over the next day to day and a half before the center of circulation comes ashore? We have a 65-mile-an-hour tropical storm that's moving very quickly, north-northwest at 22 miles an hour. That's about twice as fast as your average forward speed of a tropical storm or hurricane, certainly faster than a lot of the storms and hurricanes we dealt with earlier this year. But it is still possible, given the fast-forward motion, that it will have enough time to strengthen substantially, maybe even more than the existing Hurricane Center forecast of Category 1, 80 miles an hour around the time of landfall, because it is not going over Yucatan. The center of circulation is passing east of there, and it is starting to get pretty active with the thunderstorm activity on the south and eastern side, and the hurricane has been flying through this and will for the next several hours, and we'll see if those winds go up from 65 up to 70 or 75 on its way to becoming a hurricane. It's forecast to be near 80 miles per hour at landfall tomorrow night or early Sunday, but it is possible, if that inner corridor organizes over the Gulf of Mexico, that it could, either tonight or tomorrow, perhaps rapidly intensify, getting stronger than that 80 miles an hour, maybe get to Cat 2, which would, of course, given all other things equal, produce greater wind and storm surge impacts. Time of arrival, Mike and Ray, is PM tomorrow on the coast, and then late Saturday, early Sunday for winds of tropical storm force arriving in inland areas as well.
So it's not long before this thing gets here, for sure. Hey, Dr. Knapp, we get a lot of questions from our viewers this evening, so let's do our best to answer some of those tonight. Thank you all for sending these via Twitter. Garrett wants to know, does movement speed increase surge versus slow-moving storms?
Boy, that is a complicated question to answer, because where the storm surge is maximized is not just how fast the hurricane or tropical storm is moving, but the angle of approach, the shape of the coastline, just exactly where the center comes ashore, how strong, how large it is. But generally speaking, in a lot of places, a slower moving, larger storm would produce greater storm surge values because it would have a longer time to push the water into any one spot. A quick in and out in most places lessens the storm surge threat, but there are some spots where a faster moving storm can be a problem. So it depends on where you are. I would say the fast movement of this one is to our benefit more than it is a detriment.
All right, and Dr. Dan, we'll go to our next question, and this one coming in from Neo Chasers. Could the warm water pave the way for a possible Category 2 strength? That's 96 miles per hour, is that correct?
Yeah, when you get up to the 83 knots, to the 96 miles an hour, that's when you've got Category 2. Now, the warm waters are one thing that could fuel intensification to Category 2, and we looked at the percentages. We'll look at it again next hour. There is about a 1 out of 5 shot that it gets to Cat 2 before landfall. The warm water is one factor. The weak wind shear, look at the upper level of this system, that no wind shear is going to be tearing this apart. It really hinges on can this inner core get itself organized and take advantage of those conditions and ramp up to Cat 2. That's what we need to be preparing for. When the forecast is Cat 1, prepare for a Category stronger.
All right, Dr. Nat, thank you very much. Thank all of you for your questions. By the way, keep sending them. If you want to use the hashtag Nate on Twitter, we'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can tonight.
And Tropical Storm Nate is about to be on our doorstep. Our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Mann, is timing out the threats and impacts for the U.S. Gulf Coast. That's coming up in our next hour. We'll be back in just about 60 seconds after your local on the 8s. And we've got live coverage all day tomorrow. Got a whole crew of Weather Channel folks with you. Hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Mann, is timing out the threats and impacts for the U.S. Gulf Coast.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under clear skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Saturday, intervals of cloud. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies during the evening. We'll give way to cloudy skies overnight. 68. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day.
Last nightfall's Tropical Storm Nate is set to get stronger. Hurricane watches and warnings in effect along the U.S. Gulf Coast.
And the storm already has a deadly history in Central America, leaving neighborhoods underwater and roads washed out. Now parts of the Gulf Coast prepare for another potential hurricane, and it's been a very destructive season. Good evening and welcome to our extended coverage tonight of Tropical Storm Nate. I'm meteorologist Ray Station.
I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis. Also, I welcome those of you watching on our streaming service, Local Now. I'll pick up for you this evening.
Yeah, we do, and we have had lockdowns already. This was earlier. Check out the wind blowing here in Cozumel, the tourist hotspot. It's right off the coast near Cancun, Mexico. Conditions expected to worsen here over the coming hours. I'm like, we're probably looking at maybe minimal tropical storm force winds here and reduced visibility. Just
wait until you see what happens when things is supposed to be as expected it to hurricane strength, which means the videos are becoming, be even worse. And here's what we know: 22 deaths in all blame.
Like what? Like what?
Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi have already declared states of emergency. There are watches as far away as Atlanta, Georgia. Mandatory evacuation orders for the New Orleans area, including Venetian Isles, Lake Catherine, Irish Bayou, and Pensacola. The airport will close tomorrow at 8 p.m. Not expected to reopen until Monday.
Yeah, so people taking their actions and hopefully following what their emergency managers are telling them. But we don't have much time before we start feeling the effects along the coast. And let's begin with a hurricane expert and former head of the National Hurricane Center, Dr. Rick Mann, with the links. What are we seeing right now, Rick?
Ray and Mike, we're seeing a tropical storm whose center is missing land. We thought it might clip the northeastern part of the Yucatan Peninsula and go right over Cancun, Cozumel, perhaps, when we looked at it yesterday. But right now, the center of circulation is passing through the Yucatan Channel, and it is getting a little bit more organized with the thunderstorm activity increasing, especially to the south and east of the center. And also very notable, it's moving forward as a 65-mile-an-hour tropical storm very quickly, north-northwest at 22 miles an hour. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh, what does that mean? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Well, like in many things in life, there's good news and bad news. Bad news first is that it shortens the time that is left to prepare on the northern Gulf Coast and in inland areas for the arrival of winds of tropical storm force. That is perhaps less than 24 hours away in coastal areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. Another bad thing is that because it's moving quickly, it's going to be able to bring pretty strong winds and heavy rainfall and a tornado threat a pretty long distance inland over the southeastern U.S. before it has time to weaken. But the good things about a fast-moving system is that the rainfall totals won't rack up as much as if it was moving more slowly, and it will lessen the duration of the strong winds. But it does not lessen the potential impacts in general terms, because even a fast mover in a short amount of time can cause a lot of wind and water problems. Because this is such a threat, it's expected to be a hurricane that landfall tomorrow night and early Sunday. The Air Force hurricane hunters are flying through this, and they've gone from southeast to northwest recently and still have not found anything greater than the 65 miles an hour that was in the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center. But it is still going to be flying for a little while longer, and they may later on tonight or early in the morning find winds of hurricane force as this area of thunderstorm. Look at that blowout. It's really starting to increase on that east side. Hasn't wrapped around the center all the way yet, but it seems to be on the way to doing that. So that's why we have to give quite a bit of credence to this forecast of a landfalling hurricane tomorrow night or early Sunday, and with the possibility of strong impacts inland will detail in just a moment.
All right, Zach, thank you very much. Along the Gulf Coast, red flags keeping most beachgoers out of the water. The Weather Channel's Justin Michaels shows us the preparations in Pensacola Beach and how some airlines have been travelers get away from the storm.
Pensacola Beach, Florida is certainly a beach that is preparing for landfall of hurricane winds. The expectation is the landfall won't specifically happen here, but preparations are certainly underway to make sure people stay safe. The first thing we noticed this morning, as recently as this morning, was this red flag waving. And there are red flag warnings all up and down this beach. And what that means is the water is closed to the public. No wading, no surfing, and no swimming of any kind because of the surf that's coming in, and of course the potential for riptides and how dangerous this water, though beautiful and blue-green, it's really stunning, especially juxtaposed to the talcum powder sand. Still a very dangerous situation, and for the most part, people have been staying out of the water. Here in Pensacola Beach, we do have a hurricane watch. We have a storm surge watch. And those are two things that people are beginning to take very seriously. We know many airlines have canceled flights. We know Southwest is certainly one of them. We talked to some people on the beach today that are no longer able to go home because of what will eventually be Hurricane Nate. And many other airlines, including Delta, are doing things to help people canceling change fees, canceling cancellation fees, making sure people are staying as safe as possible. So, preparations are well underway here, and of course we can only expect it will stay that way through the storm and when it finally goes away and the sun comes up back here. In Pensacola Beach, Florida, Justin Michaels, the Weather Channel.
Thank you, Justin. Back now with Dr. Nat, talking a little more about where we go from here, because it's a certainty at this point that it's going to hit the northern Gulf Coast. What should we be preparing for between, say, New Orleans and Pensacola?
Got to prepare for both wind and water, and it's not just at the coast, it's inland as well. A Category 1 hurricane or something a little weaker, a little stronger than that. Either way, there are going to be impacts, and we're going to have to deal with storm surge, wind, and heavy rain. And because of the fast forward motion, Mike, this is going to bring a lot of issues inland as well. So don't just think of it as a coastal event.
And sorry to interrupt, and impacts will go beyond that cone. We've talked about this a lot this season. Don't focus just on the cone, because impacts will go well beyond that.
No, excellent point to reiterate over and over again. That cone is a lot narrower than this area of colors because the center of circulation is where that cone depicts where that center is going to go. But a hurricane is not a point on a map, and the impacts from wind can still extend well outside the cone. And because of that fast forward motion, look how far inland you have at least a 50-50 shot in any of these spots of being sustained wind top of the storm force, and then those conditions could extend pretty far inland as well, so that means outages, down trees, and we're having an Irma and Gloria, even if they tally from that matter. And when we're talking about when these winds arrive, we're not just thinking about this so we know when the wind will get there themselves, but also when the weather conditions will be too dangerous for people to be on the roads and evacuating or making other preparations. So it's 2 a.m. tomorrow that the winds will arise on the northern Gulf Coast, but then late tomorrow night, early Sunday, that's when they'll arrive in the inland area. So storm surge is an issue here, and if you're being told to evacuate, schedule tonight or tomorrow early.
We will talk more about the storm surge coming up in a little bit. Dr. Nab, thank you very much. And we've got a lot more to cover tonight.
Yeah, we do, guys, and it is expected to strengthen in the coming hours. The factors that could lead to rapid intensification just before the U.S. side. Our experts break down the likelihood of Dave becoming a very strong hurricane.
Or new business. Visit the design warehouse design brand suits and sport coat for 60% off. Plus buy one get one free and select items. Feeling like the way you look at designers.
Today we're going to talk about trucks. Each of these truck brands features offers 55 HP horsepower and the most capable off-road mid-size pickup. A little Ram, I would put it on Ford.
That's right. It's heavy. They look amazing. Yeah, definitely.
Trade up to this lightning Silverado All-Star and get a total value of over $11,200. Or during drop off, get 0% financing for 72 months on our most popular Chevy trucks. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
What it looked like in garage on Saturday, man. But I wish it was easy to watch all my games at once. So, I totally agree, honey. I'm talking in pancakes. It's all exhausting in here. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. And you're all three.
21 7 calendar. 21 7 numbers are not able to do.
4 channels to watch at once in HD. Sign up now for NFL Red Show from NFL Network, included at no extra charge. This, tuned into you.